So at what age would you say that you finally figured out who you were? If you think that through, let's go back a little bit in your mind and say, okay, of all the different things, like, when was it that I really felt like I knew who I was, what I was about, where I was going, what was important to me? When did I come into my own and kind of figure out who I was? If you were to kind of take a survey for some people, they would say that never happens. We're always trying to figure out who we are, where we're going, what we're about, what's important to us, what's not important, what we're going to do, what we're going to not do, what makes us tick, what makes us feel successful, all those different things. But there's also probably a point at which things kind of cross over for you where it felt like you came through something, you got over something, you gained something, you took a new step into life, and you finally felt at that point that, like, now I know who I am and where I am. Like, you bought your first car, maybe whatever it is, and again, some of us probably would say, like, I'll let you know when that day comes, but it probably hasn't happened yet. The reality is, inside of our lives, what we're thinking about inside of this whole series, by the way, we're using the book of Exodus, we're in the book of Exodus, but we're kind of looking at a God who is the same yesterday, today, and forever, so a God who does not change, yet how he operates inside of our lives looks a little bit different than perhaps it did 3,000 years ago, just because the circumstances of life, the setting of life has changed, but God hasn't changed. Further, I think the basic need of the human heart hasn't changed. So how do we therefore then, think about, not is it what, God wants to set us free from, so those things inside of our background, inside of our past, those things that hold us back, the defeats, all those, wounds, the different things inside of our lives that God wants to set us free from. But maybe more importantly, what does God want to set us free to or for inside of our lives, so that what is being created in us is an identity that's not tied to circumstances or success or, relationships having to fill in the gap for who we are, but that we can actually grow and become whole people. Whole is not perfect. Whole does not mean complete. Whole does not mean unchallenged, but that you can, grow into the person that God has created you to be.